West Penwith is incredibly important to both the wildlife and the people that live here. Home to a myriad of wild species and steeped in history, the landscape is inextricably linked to local culture and communities. The Penwith Landscape Partnership is an ambitious and unique project, bringing together people, partner organisations, landowners, farmers, communities and volunteers, with a shared vision to see the protection, restoration and sustainable conservation of this unique landscape, and in doing so, forging a deeper connection with the landscape for those that live and work in this beautiful pocket of Cornwall. Over the past 3 years, teams of dedicated volunteers have headed out in wind, rain, hail and sun to push the aims of the project forward. With their help, we have planted wildflower meadows, uncovered ancient sites, reconnected miles of pathways, and engaged with hundreds of people in the process, garnering a sense of pride and ownership among local people.
Well, quite simply, the volunteers are the heart of the PLP enterprise. I mean, we're a staff of 10, but we've got 250 volunteers on our books. As many volunteers as there are, there's different reasons why people volunteer and different things they get out of it. But for some people, it's become the focus of their week.
I've been doing this on and off for a couple of years. Took a big break during lockdown, but I'm very glad to be back. And it just gets me out of the house, and it just feels nice just to be doing something useful. Good for the mental health to get out here.
There's all sorts of different projects that are being run within the overall PLP programme, from archaeology to access to arts to the Cornish language. And that again is a great opportunity for different sorts of volunteers to get involved in different sorts of activities. And that all cross-fertilises each other. So hopefully towards the end we will have built up a real network of like-minded people who are sort of brought together by the landscape, but at the same time they've got all sorts of different skills and interests.
Well, I think what's lovely, you're meeting like-minded people, all different, all different ages, different from different places, and it's just lovely talking to people and finding out why they're doing it. I've been learning about identifying wildflowers that I couldn't identify before. And certainly the hedging, that was a very interesting learning curve, which I really would like to learn more.
Well, the opportunity to get outside in this landscape down here, for whatever reason, is always something to be taken. But when you're working on the landscape, there's a huge sense of satisfaction. Working hard all day long outdoors is a huge boon to many people.
It's a way of getting to places like this which I may not have got to otherwise at all. Yeah, I've learnt a lot in the course of volunteering. It's very nice to have some reason to be out and be working out.
I think what we do is very important because this landscape, like any landscape, doesn't stand still and things will get overgrown. But also these ancient sites and these ancient access routes, they need to be cleared, they need to be available.
Well, I think the work is important because a lot of these sites would be lost forever, it's personally very satisfying and rewarding, and being in this wonderful open air and this wonderful landscape.
So when the volunteers come out doing practical tasks, some of those tasks demand a bit of training, and that's very nice to be able to offer that. Free training, and that's a wonderful resource that sort of enriches their experience, because not only do they get to be out, but they also know what they're doing and they learn more about the landscape by being trained up to appreciate it.
It just gets you out into the landscape. It's good for you, it's good for your mental health, and you'll learn a lot about the area, the landscape, the wildlife, and yourself probably.
There's something here for everybody. It doesn't matter how capable or strong or not, or old or young or anything. It doesn't matter, because there's always something you can do, and I think that's the great thing about it.
Ever since we started, we've been talking about legacy. We want it to continue. So we're always talking about going forward. We want to try to establish an entity, a network, a body of people that will go on after this funding is finished. but we want to try to encourage the sense of ownership and belonging that make people want to come on and carry on doing the work that we're doing.
To date, we have engaged hundreds of volunteers, uncovered many ancient sites, restored wildflower meadows, forged strong relationships with local farmers, landowners and communities, and reconnected many people with their local environment. But there is still work to be done to secure a future for this landscape where people and the land go hand in hand.